Hey, what's going on, weavers? Thank you so much for clicking on this video. In today's tutorial, we're learning how to make a true survival bracelet that unravels within seconds to provide you with a significant amount of cord that also uses a ferro rod Firestarter toggle as the closure. This pattern is the blaze bar that holds a large amount of cord in a paracord bracelet. And remember, if you're looking for where to get paracord and all the tools I used in this video, feel free to check out those affiliate links down below. To start this one off, I've got my length of paracord. And depending on your wrist size, it could use from anywhere from 13 to 14 feet or more of paracord. And of course, I've got my ferro rod toggle that's been drilled out. If you don't know where to get these, you can check out the affiliate link down below for where to get them. To start it off, I'm going to feed both ends of the paracord through the toggle and through the two drilled holes. And you don't want them completely even. You'll want just a few more inches on one side. As you'll see in the upcoming method, I will start out with the cord on the left, and that will use up just a little bit more cord on the left side. Next, I'm going to set up my core on the jig here. I've got two nails up top, and I'm going to just hook the ferro rod onto those two nails. I'm going to bring the two cords down to the bottom, and I decided to use a keyring. I do have, nails on the bottom of my jig as well, and I could have very well used those, but for whatever reason, I decided to use a keyring. I'm going to loop them around the keyring and bring the two strands back to the top. Now from here, I'm going to take the strand on the right side and bring it in front and loop it around all four strands. I'm going to bring that same cord back out to the left side. And from here, with that same cord, I'm now going to pass it through the middle, go over the first two cords and under the next two. So out through the middle, and that's going to create a loop on the left side. This part's a little bit tough, so try to hold everything together. And now with the cord on the right, I'm going to make sure it's sitting underneath the opposing cord, like so. And with that same cord, now you're going to pass it through the middle and go over the two cords on the right. Go under the two on the left, and then go out through that loop we created on the left side and pull that through. Okay, and before you tighten, make sure you move it all the way up to the top. This is easily accomplished by gripping the two middle strands and pushing up on it. And then you're going to firm that knot up as best you can and get it all the way to the top and get it nice and neat. Now from here, we're going to take the right strand, go under and over through the middle, and then with the left side strand, make it sit on top of that opposing cord, and then go under, through the middle, over the right side, and then through the crook on the right side. Okay, so you want your cord sitting exactly like that, and then pull tight and push up. So now we've essentially tied the first set of the blaze bar knots, and now we're going to continue that. So always starting with the left, I'm going to go over and under through the middle. And then with the right side strand, I'm going to make sure it's sitting underneath the opposing strand. And then I'm going to go over and under through the middle, and then put that cord out through the crook on the left side. Okay, we're going to pull that tight like so. Push it up, firm it up. And then now we're going to complete the second part of that knot. So every knot is two parts, okay, and two ties. Now with the right side strand, we're going to go under and over through the middle. And then now with the left side strand, we're going to make sure it sits on top of the opposing strand. Okay, make sure it sits on top like so. And then go under and over and back out through the loop on the right side and pull it tight. Okay, so that is the second set of the blaze bar knots. And that is essentially the pattern. Just make sure you continually repeat it the same. This one is a little bit easy to get confused. So if that part was confusing at all, just definitely give it a repeat and just make sure you follow the same sequence and continue doing that all the way down your core. So I've come down to the end of my bracelet, And now watch through till the end before you do this part, because I'm going to show you 2 different ways to finish this bracelet. You can choose whichever one you prefer. Now I'm not doing anything different. I'm finishing the second half of one set of the blaze bar knots. Okay, and I'm stopping just about an inch or so towards the end. You can leave more if you want. If you want the loops to be a bit longer at the bottom, that's fine. And in fact, I suggest you leave them longer for the second method. And now I'm just going to unhitch my bracelet from my jig. And from here, this is now the back of the bracelet. And just using my fid, I'm just going to pull up on those loops a little. Just want to make sure they're nice and tight and even. And now from the back side of the bracelet, with my fid on one cord, I'm just going to tuck those this loose strand on the right side underneath 2 knots, like so. Okay, I just pulled it up through 2 knots. Make sure your cord isn't twisted at all. So I just pulled it up through 2 knots like so, and we do the same on the other side. Again, with the fid, I just go underneath 2 knots, push it all the way through. And now we have our cords secured under 2 knots. And now they definitely will not come loose. And from here, of course, you're just going to do the usual. I'm just going to snip and melt them. In this case, I don't think it makes a huge difference, but I'm going to melt them not that closely to the paracord bracelet. I think the bracelet will unravel just fine, even if you cut them very close to the bracelet. But for this purpose, I'm not going to, leave them too tight. Now, here is the secondary method for finishing off this bracelet. So as you can see, my 2 loops are a bit longer, and now I'm just going to tie a single cobra knot over the 2 loops here. And I actually prefer this method a bit better. So I just took the right strand, put it over the 2 loops, take the left underneath that, and put the end out the other side. And this is just going to tie a single cobra knot, and it makes those 2 loops nice and even. And to make this one look a bit better, I'm going to tuck in the one end here behind the last cobra knot. So that makes a nice clean finish. You don't see that melted end on the side. You don't have to do this part, but I just wanted to try it out and make the bracelet look nice and neat. All right, so that's for the cord that is kind of visible on the front if you were to clip off the paracords, and as you can see now, it looks very neat. So that's the secondary way to finish this bracelet, and it will work just fine. It will still come undone when you try to unravel. And again, I'm just going to snip and singe my cords. Again, not cutting too close, but just enough to secure the cords. And there we have it, guys. There is the True Survival bracelet that unravels, the quick deploy blaze bar. And you can choose whichever method you want to finish the bracelet. I do prefer the secondary method with the double loops, because I feel like it's a bit more secure when the toggle goes straight through the 2 loops. And again, you can unravel the bracelet just by simply pulling on the toggle, and the knots will come apart very quickly, and you'll have yourself 13 to 14 feet of usable paracord. If you enjoy the content on this channel, feel free to consider supporting this channel on Patreon. A huge thank you to all my current Patreon supporters. If you want access to exclusive videos, feel free to check out my Patreon page, link in the video as well as down below. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to check out what I have to offer on the rest of my channel.